When neighbors fight over shared space, who wins? That's the question at the heart of a recent Ask Real Estate column from the New York Times, and the answer comes down to city code, property deeds, and a very clear principle: you can't solve your drainage problem by sending water onto someone else's land. A homeowner in New York City wrote in about a situation that's equal parts frustrating and potentially dangerous. They own a single-family home. Next door, an apartment building has an illegal basement unit. The two properties share a small paved alley. The neighbor's basement floods because the drain on their side of the alley isn't working. Their solution? Block the drain, regrade the alley, and redirect all that water through the shared space and into the street, which would wash out the homeowner's lawn. If the homeowner won't agree to regrade together, the neighbor says they'll just raise their side of the alley and send all the water toward the house instead. Michael Nachmias, a Brooklyn lawyer, puts it plainly: your neighbor cannot solve his problem by directing water onto your property, or by ignoring city laws. The city code requires owners to keep their properties in a safe, code-compliant condition, and that likely includes the drain. If the neighbor wants to do this work legally, they'd need to file plans, get permits, and figure out whether both owners' consent is required by checking deeds, surveys, and easements. If the work needs temporary access to your property and you don't grant it, the neighbor could sue under state law, but the law does not allow them to alter your property. Nachmias advises documenting everything. Take photos with timestamps, including current conditions. Look at the deed and any easements to see who owns what. You can object to the work in writing, and if work begins, call 311 immediately. Andrew Rudansky, press secretary for the New York City Department of Buildings, adds another layer: even if the proposed work is fully on the neighbor's yard, they're not allowed to change their property in a way that would cause stormwater to flow onto neighboring properties. Title 19 of the city's administrative code requires a permit for grading or changing the surface area, especially when existing drainage is affected. And there's a separate safety issue here. Illegal basement apartments that flood can create fatal conditions. They should be reported to 311. So if you're in a similar spot, know your rights. The law is on your side when it comes to water runoff. Document, object in writing, and don't hesitate to bring in the city. Thanks for listening.